So you mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned like obviously the increase in compliance costs, increase in licensee fees, increase in PI. I mean, all those things are obviously going the wrong way. We've got a lot of cost pressure, which is, I guess, coming to play over the last, to be fair, the last 5 years. And the Royal Commission has probably accentuated that. So we've got sort of, I guess, people sort of wanting to pay less. What are you seeing in regards to how is that impacting upon the profitability of firms out there in the financial advisory space?
Yeah, I'm actually seeing growth of profitability, and the reason for that is that since the passing down on the Hayne Report, 4th of February 2019, people have been re-engineering their business. And so that's particularly around annual renewals and also the move into fixed fees. And when you do those, just those two incentives alone, you're really coming down to value proposition, and you're looking at your tech stack. So you start to have a look at, okay, well, what level of service do we want to deliver? How do we get there? That normally, and this is why we're seeing such huge increase in the third generation managed accounts. Net Wealth's been the greatest beneficiary, but so's Hub, so's actually the whole industry, as people are moving particularly from the oligopoly of the banks, the big six, AMP, IWF. They're looking for new generation platforms, and so that's their starting point. When you start with there, then you have to look at your whole tech stack and your service delivery. And this is, we started off with a sort of a dark sort of assessment of the industry with rising costs. But what should be talked about is actually we're building better businesses and more profitable businesses with the adoption of technology. This adoption of technology has been dramatically increased in the last 4 or 6 months. And like we're doing now with video communication, the level of communication that advisors have been providing to their clients is unprecedented. And it's also on point. It's individual like this is, or it's collective with podcasts, video messages. And we've seen businesses that potentially weren't before tech able have moved really quickly to cloud-based technology, so people can work from their home offices and the like. And so the adoption of technology has never been greater. Now, one thing great about Australians is the ability to adapt and adopt really quickly. And so I was reading a report a month or two ago saying in the last 5 years, the adoption of technology is equivalent to 3 to 5 years. And it's come on really quickly. So when you're having a look at when people are re-engineering their businesses, each time that I've seen it anyway, when you move to fixed fees, you've moved to potentially an MDA, so you're increasing your back office, it's increasing profitability, but also increasing client value proposition. Yeah. So any cost savings in the value chain, and at the moment the value chain is substantially under pressure. When we have a look at traditionally on funds management, they're being active managers are being challenged by index fees. So even active managers, the fees are coming down there. Administration, we've seen some of the old guard reducing their fees as well, trying to match the new gen. And I think that that's going to continue. We're seeing dealer fees coming up because that's the removal of grandfathered revenue, subsidised revenue, but their value proposition is also increasing as well. And what this is enabling is the advice fee is relatively static. So add it all up across the value chain and costs are coming down for the client and services are improving. So we never achieved that from FOFA. There was no beneficiaries from a consumer perspective. I think they will be now and going forward.